So I want you to check something out today, okay? Look at this, look at this, look at this. 1, 2, 3. Click once for 18. Spellbook, misclick, spellbook, super glass. Boom. Let's do this one more time. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Obviously, you can use keys to get better. When you do that a few times, when you exit, and then you manually pick up the molten. I like to use the 5 key to press to save a little energy on the hand. And then if you've noticed, I got it 17,000. I saw 784 seaweed, 17,000 molten glass, 784 seaweed, and about 1,700 buckets of sand. So I want you to think about from that inventory that made about 30, 40 to 100 molten glass per handful. How long that took? That's from pretty much a few months of every day, one to a few times a day, planting seaweed, collecting it, getting anywhere from 50 to 100 seaweed, giant seaweed, right? So I had about 4,000, and then from 4,000 seaweed, what I did is I went to sandstone and I mined and learned a 3-tick mine to put that in the sandstone grinder, so I could pay about $300,000 to $500,000 to get approximately now going to be upwards of around 20,000 molten glass, so that can finally blow that into molten into lanterns and unpowered orbs, so I can get the crafting level of 89 boosted to make the Zenite ring for the Ring of Suffering, if I can even get it soon enough from demonic gorillas, so I'm ready. And I just want you to understand how this might look like the most boring thing ever, but it's actually, once you get in the groove, kind of like 3-tick mining, you get used to it and it's kind of nice. And it's not necessarily therapeutic or relaxing, but it's like hard work, rewarding. You get into it, you do it for the first minute, you get used to the minute, right? You do it for 5, you get used to 5, you do it for 15, yada yada yada. All of a sudden, an hours go by, you do that a couple days, and you're just doing this for a few days all day, and you get into it, and then you have these kind of milestones where I had 1,000 seaweed left, and I had 5,000 buckets of sand, and these little boosts that keep you going, and every 5,000 buckets makes the next 5,000 seem faster, and it's doubling. So in my opinion, you get more dopamine, and then I'm at 79 crafting, right? By the end of all this molten glass making, I'll still probably be 79, and then I have 20,000 molten glass with blowing pipe to AFK to edit videos or do something else in hopes that I can hit 84. And I don't want to do the math because I almost don't want to lose discipline, or yeah, maybe discipline from getting all the materials, because I don't want to know how much I have to get exact. So it's almost like I'm edging, right? So I don't know the exact amount I need to get. So it's kind of fun. It's like a lottery. It's like, is it going to be enough? If it's not, it kind of keeps the control in my department. It's like a happy medium. So I just, and it's so much more fun because I understand what it was like to get sand originally from, buying the buckets, inventory of buckets, running to the sand pit, and then teleporting back to a bank. And then, you probably get 24 in inventory. Yeah, it's AFK, but you still have to set up. And then you're probably getting, think about it, for every 10 minutes, you get maybe 3 inventories. You get that in one few minute session, sandstone, so the money's worth it, the time's worth it. It's just, but even to do that before, not having the Yanil teleport, or not having the house teleport to the closest sandbox, I remember just running and spending days just trying to get, I think it was like a couple thousand buckets of sand, just so then I can get, not even with giant seaweed, right? Because I wanted it now so badly. I didn't understand the value, and just taking my time and farming maybe once a day or so, just to get enough giant seaweed. Because I didn't understand. I was so ignorant. I didn't even understand what giant seaweed was. There's a difference in this game between seaweed and giant seaweed. So if you buy giant seaweed, you get so many more molten glass per inventory with the make glass spell and the bucket of sand. But if you didn't even have the spell, which I remember, you would have to go to the furnace and you would have to cook it. And then without giant sand, you'd have to have regular seaweed. To get regular seaweed, you would have to get it from monster drops, so you'd have to pick it up. Or you'd have to do the fastest but most kind of painful way, which is go to a charter ship, right, to buy the seaweed. And then you'd have to also get this stuff called soda ash. And then you'd have to cook it together in the furnace to get molten glass. And then you have to run back to the bank And I remember doing that just to get the crafting levels and pushing just for glory, or so I could craft my own d'hide so I can run into the wilderness without worrying I need to get more d'hide from clue scrolls or monster drops, right? And then I could do that agility to get more money to repeat that to get the construction level to eventually come back to have enough magic to even do, make glass or make planks to hopefully with around 20k. I might need more sandstone, but to finally get 84 for the suffering, and then I can finally do Zulrah. And all of that, the point of this video is all of that is condensed in the dopamine to essentially keep doing this, right? Bank 1 2 3, and this is using the shift click. And of course, if I use my keyboard, I can get it a little bit faster. And then let's see how much I can really push. 1 2 3. I like to kind of do like a side claw on exit with the cast, and then Q for the spell book just in case it's not there. A little spam click. 1 2 3 18. Boom. Spam click just to really. The reason I spam click to get it the fastest is because there's these on the floor, and you really want to be able to stack it to about, I think you can get it to about 70 just before they start to despawn, and 70 is pushing it. I like anywhere from 40 to 70. I keep it within an inventory, so if it's one inventory, I can do it and then I switch off, or 2 inventories worth, or 3, just so I'm not switching too much for half an inventory where you kind of lose pace. Like right now this would be a shorter one, but just because I'm a little slower, I don't want to waste any, right? Because the whole point is I remember getting all these materials and the time it took, so it's like every little one I want to keep, right? And that's the same thing with Herbivore, where I'm kind of stuck not progressing Herbivore even though I have the Ceradomans, is because I kind of want to make all those Ceradomans with the minigame gear with the extra dose, but I just haven't had a chance because I've been so focused in increasing this little grind for the Zulrah kill, because I don't know, there's certain things with the game that appeal to you. I remember watching early Zulrah was something I was really intrigued by. It was so cool, and then trying it, I never really thought I'd get, like, it's like, ooh, where's Zulrah in Inferno, right? When you start, you realize how just far off, and then to just even attempt it, right? It's like, wow, that's crazy. And then to beat it once, and now you're farming it, and to even get a rare drop is just so cool. And then to continue doing that and using the modern game with the twin staff to make it a little better with Iron Man. So it's, it's not as hardcore, it's not as entertaining as the videos you've watched where they didn't have any extra log baskets or anything. It was right click to left click for thieving and just all this extra stuff that they've helped make better. But now it's kind of a nice happy blend where it's really user friendly, it's really rewarding. It's still tough, it's still so much longer than RS3 or other things, but that's what makes it rewarding. You gotta have the mundane balance with what you're doing. And yeah, that's just a little video on how I've been able to do this for probably 20-30 hours in a row between sandstone, spell, planking, and I'm not really doing other things too much. See, I'm losing focus, but yeah. All right, GG's only.